We've got a match to a Nevada Gaming Commission card. Lucy Kennelly. Wonder what she was doing around Michael Dubois' apartment. Those two brag about hating each other. The blood on the knife matches are big. I wonder if Dubois will try to write this off to rough sex play. So Dubois had the same brand of trash bags as the torn fragment we found at the crime scene. They are a common brand, so it's by no means proof. Michael and Carrie had access to these. Anyone else?
I don't have anything else to say to you.
I have nothing else to say.
He's on his way to interrogation now.
I know you think I'm some sort of mouth breather, but I'm actually a man of means and taste. I said I was an amateur chef. I wouldn't demean my kitchen with cheap tools like that.
Maybe so, but that's where we found it. In your kitchen. Maybe it walked in of its own accord. By the way, the lab tells us your fiancée's blood is all over it.
Well, it may be her blood, but it's not my knife. I go in for the best. I can afford to spoil myself, and I do. Are you deaf or stupid or both? You shouldn't be looking at me. You should be asking yourself, who put that junk blade in my shiny kitchen? I can tell you one thing, Carrie has knives like that. That sister of hers gave him to her, which shows you how little that bitch really cares about her. Lucy probably just lifted him from the double dip. It's the kind of low-end cutlery their restaurant uses. Other than Carrie and me, I don't know. You'd have to check with the building manager. It's janitor. I don't have anything else for you.
Compelling stuff. I can call that judge with a clear conscience and get that search warrant.
I don't have anything else to say to you.
Well, this is definitely not Mr. Dubois' day. These records show profits from Mr. Dubois' bookmaking operation. Maybe this is the leverage Lucy Kennelly was talking about. Hey, doesn't this key look like the one we found in Carrie's apartment? Fairly wide gauge needles. I wonder what she needs these for. Skylar Progressive Hospital. That's where her dad was. Nice work.
I don't have anything else to say to you.
Horson's prints. Not too surprising if this box did come from that hospital. Look at our sweet, innocent heiress have been putting in her veins.
Hey, Grissom asked me to check up on you guys. Crack this sucker yet?
Who was it that said curiouser and curiouser?
Probably Grissom, quoting Lewis Carroll. What's the latest curiosity?
Well, seems Carrie has this thing for needles and the people who have access to them.
Into drugs.
Initial report from the bloodbath in her apartment was negative. We're about to run this new sample by Doc Robbins.
If tox turns up clean here too, then you need to ask yourself, if our Vic wasn't shooting up, what were those needles for?
I have nothing else to say.
I don't have anything else to say to you.
Yep, that hypodermic needle ought to inject some confidence in a judge. Let's go.
I found those needles at Carrie's place when I was dropping off the will, remember? They disturbed me, obviously. If she got herself involved in drugs, I'd have to... I don't know what. Certainly, I intended to confront her about it.
Is that why you left that note?
Well, I was pretty angry. I figured with all the opportunities Carrie had heaped upon her in her short life to get involved with drugs, and that's what I assumed. Though I suppose it could have been an illness or something. Anyway, I was bent out of shape, out of concern for her. I don't have anything else to say to you. I don't have anything else to say to you.
He's on his way to interrogation now.
What? Listen, this is supposed to be a missing persons deal or a murder. What does this have? Found my records, huh? Thought I'd misplaced them, or maybe Carrie had taken them.
Is that the real reason you decided to break into her desk before calling the police?
Okay, it is. But so what? That doesn't mean I killed her, beat her bloody or anything. I just saw all that red everywhere and knew you people would give the place the treatment. And if those records were there, better I found them than you. But I didn't find them, and you did. Where? Lucy's office. What the? Why the? I have no idea. Unless that bitch stole them for some sick reason.
Bookmaking outside the system is frowned on even in a gambling town like Vegas, especially in a gambling town like Vegas. You need to keep better track of your records.
She had a key to my... Damn it! Is there anything that conniving little monster won't do? How should I know how she got the key? Stole it from her sister, maybe. I sure as hell didn't give it to her. Like to wring her scrawny little neck.
Not the smartest thing to say in front of a homicide detective.
Oh, just popped out. I have this tendency to, you know, let off steam. Wouldn't you be wound a little tight if you'd had the day I had? This morning I'd have said that was crazy, the idea she'd do drugs. Now, what do I know? Up is down, down is up, black is white, white is sharp frickin' truce. I don't have anything else for you.
She's on her way to interrogation now.
I don't have anything else to say to you.
Consider it done. Check back for the results. I have clean, no drugs indicated at all. Then what was Carrie using needles for?
How should I know? She could have taken them from the hospital on one of her visits to her father, couldn't she?
Your fingerprints are on the box.
I work at the hospital. Could be a coincidence. I wouldn't put it past her, getting in my locker and taking them from there.
Keeping needles in your locker, that's standard for a nurse?
Hell, I keep all kinds of things in my locker. Not storing, more like dropping stuff off. I'm on my way to here or coming from there, you know.
We're talking employee locker? Here at the hospital?
I suppose we are. No big deal, right? Don't you have a locker at work?
Nice work. Time to breathe some fresh air into that locker of his and see what he's hiding. I'll call a judge.
I have nothing else to say.
Look familiar? Inside smells like blood.
They aren't Carrie's, though I can see why you might assume that. You see, a patient came through the ER today, covered in blood, and I was supposed to incinerate those, but I knew I wouldn't have time till later, so I just stuffed them in my locker. I told you, a lot of things get dropped off there. I'm a busy guy.
I see. So if we test that blood, it'll match your ER patient and not Carrie Kennelly?
One would think.
Maybe our victim was trying to escape out the window. Definitely Carrie Kennelly. But what did Alex do to the body? This may have started out as a tomato juice jug, but it wound up filled with another kind of red.
I have nothing else to say.
Like Grissom says, blood tells. And all the telling stems from Alex Portison's locker. Let's talk to him. I'm sure you could come up with some really interesting lies for us, Alex. But let's try the truth. It should be interesting enough.
They're Carrie's clothes, all right. Carrie's blood. It's all Carrie's.
Where is Carrie Kennelly?
If you and Carrie ever really were friends, cut her family a break. They deserve the truth.
Motel across town.
You left her body in a motel room? It wouldn't have taken us long before we found her. The smell alone.
You don't get it. You're just not that smart.
I'll work real hard at it, Alex. Educate me.
She's not dead. Carrie Kennelly is not dead.
Not dead? All that blood.
You mean you haven't put it all together yet? I mean, you found the jug and the needles, right? I didn't kill Carrie. Carrie killed Carrie.
Are you prepping an insanity plea?
You have to understand. Carrie was born with a silver spoon, but a tarnished one. She's pretty, and her father is famous, and that made her and everything she did tabloid fodder. She had this thing for bad boys, and she took more beatings than a Persian carpet. Her life in a fishbowl really got to her. She wanted a simpler life, but her daddy wanted her to take over the casino, a business Carrie hated. Why Mr. Kennelly refused to consider Lucy, who for all her faults had worked hard for him, I couldn't say. Maybe Lucy wanted it a little too much. And one day, Carrie woke up and she had a dying daddy waiting to burden her with more responsibility than she could ever face. Not to mention a sister who hated her guts, and an upcoming marriage that promised to make her the battered wife poster girl. Lucy, her father, Dubois, they all underestimated her. Behind those blue eyes and that placid personality, Carrie is a clever girl. And she knew she couldn't just leave, or else Dubois and her father would come looking for her. She figured she only had one way out, to fake her own death. It would require some minor plastic surgery and a change of hair color, and a lot of planning and a hell of a lot of nerve. But she relished the thought of putting one over on all these control freaks, just ruining her life.
So she met you, a male nurse, with medical knowledge and a sympathetic style, and the two of you saved her blood. It must have taken months.
Ms. Seidel, you're a clever young woman yourself. We drew out only a bit at a time. We stored it in the juice jug you found in the freezer. She slowly thawed it, and then she splashed her blood around everywhere, creating a crime scene that would inevitably lead to her being declared dead.
Then she brought you her bloody clothes to destroy them in the hospital incinerator.
Yes, but then I screwed up. Got busy at work, not daring to attract undue attention, and haven't had a chance to get those clothes to the incinerator. Particularly not with you people underfoot so much. Then you beat me to them.
Why do I think it was your idea to use the knife to frame Dubois?
Well, you're correct about that, Captain. That wasn't like Carrie at all. Took some real convincing. But I couldn't risk him coming after us, not with his temper. And anyway, I convinced her that her murder would be more real if someone paid for it. And that abusing bastard deserved it. I think she felt good about knowing he would never beat up on a woman again.
So what was the plan, after you fooled the world into accepting Carrie's death?
We're in love, Captain. Neither one of us care a damn about the money, just each other. She'd pulled enough out of her accounts to give us a start. We were heading to Aruba to make a new life together.
Well, you won't need money where you'll be going, and you won't be together. You see, just because Dubois is a woman-beating asshole, that doesn't make it cool to frame him for murder. What motel and what room, Alex?
You investigated every possible angle on this case. Doesn't happen often, but I'm very impressed.